Good morning, Napa Valley Unitarian Universalists. Welcome to our Zoom service. I'm Reverend Dr. Leisa Huyck, and this will be my last service with NVUU. With me today as our celebrant is Maggie Ingalls, and Lenore Hirsch and Tricia Lewis are helping out as well. Brian Shaw is our musician, and May Bader is helping us with technology. May will be recording this service to post on our YouTube channel later on, so if you don't want your name or face to show up in the recording, you'll want to rename yourself and turn off your camera. So again, welcome. If you are visiting a UU service for the first time, we want you to know that we are a people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. We honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person, which means we are celebrating Pride Month with bells on. Many among us are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, pansexual, and/or asexual, and we actively celebrate this diversity of human life and experience. We acknowledge the hurts that our society often deals our LGBTQPA folks, and we affirm with gratitude the strength and courage of those who have put their lives on the line in working for true equality. We also celebrate other forms of diversity, differences in what we hold sacred, differences in ethnicity, in skin color, in economic status, in levels of ability or disability, in mental health status, in forms of family, in just about every dimension of human life you can imagine. We come together in a shared spiritual journey, seeking to grow in love, awareness, compassion, and social action. We find truth and beauty in all the world's religions, believing that no one path has a monopoly on wisdom. We ground our action for social justice in our theology of transformative love. So whoever you are, and however bumpy your life's journey has been, whatever you seek and whatever you need, you are welcome here. Throughout this month of Pride, this month of June, when summer fully arrives, this congregation will be asking the question, what does it mean to be a people who play? This might seem like a strange and untimely question, given that today's service will be my last. Yet, as you will see, the theme of play could actually not be more timely. So come now, let us bring our whole selves to this time together and let us worship. We'll begin by centering ourselves through music.
Each Sunday, Unitarian Universalists all around the world join together in lighting a flaming chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you to light your own chalice at home now, or just a candle, as I speak these words from Reverend Theresa Ines Soto. Some people are used to keeping rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red, only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright line, to keep our promises. To what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place, to this community, and even tenderly interconnected this planet. We promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and cannot measure. The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside us cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone, as though you are made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now, and together we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that the future is a space for growth. Now let's join in singing our opening hymn, Morning Has Come.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is give. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
I invite you now into a moment of receptivity and reflection as we share the joys and sorrows of this community. We make sacred the milestones of our lives when we share them with each other. We have here a bowl of water and some stones. If you would like to share your joy or sorrow with all here, you can type it into the chat and then choose a stone in the bowl to represent your joy or sorrow. If you have a joy or sorrow, or even just a concern that you do not need to share with everyone, write stone in the chat and then choose a stone in the bowl to represent the milestone you are holding in the silence of your heart. If you are holding something heavy in your heart and would like to speak to a member of our pastoral care team, please reach out to us. You can find us on our website at nvuu.org.
When we share our sorrows and our joys, we knit together the disparate strands of our lives into a beautiful fabric of community. Now let's go deeper. I invite you to get comfortable in your seat, to close your eyes if you like, and assume a posture of both relaxation and attention. Move your shoulders. Shake any tension out that you may have accumulated over the week. Feel your in-breath, that great gift of life from the green growing beings of this world. Feel how your out-breath returns the gift of life to them. Relax into your breathing, in and then out. Another breath in and then out. One more, in and then out. Now continue to be aware of your breath as you hear these words. Spirit of life, mystery beyond mystery. The summer solstice is just ahead, but the length of our days continues to increase. Baby birds are squawking for food, and many fledglings are already leaving the nest. Fawns frolic in the early mornings. Children splash and shriek in water. Families toss frisbees on warm sand. Tomato and squash plants are a riot of green in the gardens, and tiny grapes have appeared on the vines. The hills are golden and dry, and the fragrance of dry grass and oak trees fills the air. Summer is nearly here. May we rejoice in the beauty and abundance of this season. May we lift our faces to the sun and relish its warmth. May we frolic in the early mornings. May we toss frisbees through the air, and may we splash and shriek in the water. This world ever invites us into pleasure and delight. Knowing that grief is always just a breath away, may we accept this invitation. May we store up joy in abundance as we heed the call to play. Amen, and blessed be. Now let us enter together into a time of silence. The music will bring us out.
Here are more words from Reverend Theresa Ines Soto. The part that is not water. The part of clouds that is not water are pieces so tiny that no human eye can see them. They float so fast and easily that weather scientists identify them as aerosols. Don't fall asleep because I said a science thing. I want you to remember that all around you, dust, atoms, tardigrades, and other tiny things that hold the world together are doing dances for you. Without that tiniest of dust specks in perfectly clean air, a cloud would struggle to ever form, which is true of anything that you want to grow. It must start small. There are people who would tell you that this chain reaction of events is one on which everything for them rises and then falls. The smallest dust, the cloud, the rain, allows the earth to drink, to grow our food, to feed an ecosystem, to fill the rivers and lakes from which we drink. The part that is not water is the tiniest dot of dust. On this small and humble thing, we find that everything does rest.
Once upon a time, there was a tribe of valley dwellers whose job it was to tend the sacred well of the waters of life. They would come to the well each week and partake of its waters. Then, refreshed and nourished, they would take the waters of life out into the world and offer it to others in need. But then there came a dark and scary time when the monsters of fear and anger and hatred took over the land.
Valley dwellers became afraid. They could not tend the well in the ways that they used to. The well dried up, and the tribe could not take the waters of life out into the world. They called for help, and a guide came. The guide asked the people if they were willing to do the work it would take to learn how to deal with the monsters and find their well again. The people said they were. They made a covenant with the guide to do this work together.
Oh,
Then the guide explained to them that the best way to tame the monsters of fear and anger and hatred was to pour the waters of life, sweet and cooling love, out onto them. They would melt away. The guide showed the people that the well was still right amongst them. They would need to prime the well in order to get it going again. And they did, with waters from their lives, tears of laughter and joy, tears of sorrow and pain, waters from oceans and rivers, waters from their own backyards. Once the waters of life were flowing again, the people took them out into the world and began tackling those monsters by pouring out love.
Then a plague came upon the land, and no one could leave their houses. How could the people come together to tend their well? How could they take the waters of life out to all the people thirsting for them? How could they deal with the monsters? The guide explained a new secret that was actually a very ancient one, which is that the waters of life are contained in the people's own hearts, and there is a magic connection between those waters and the sacred well. Anytime the people poured out love from their hearts, it would refill the well.
Guide also taught the people how to use magic boxes to gather. Anytime all the people opened their magic boxes, they would be able to see each other and talk to each other. Then they could pour the waters of love and life into the well from far away and receive it back into their hearts. They could also use those magic boxes to join with other tribes to pour the waters of life out into the world. No plague could stop them from helping soothe those terrible monsters with love. So the people worked very, very hard to do those things.
then came a wonderful day when enough people had gathered together and shared the waters of life that love had melted away most of the monsters. The people all knew that the remaining monsters would spawn new ones and try to come back, but they were very happy to have made them go away at least for a time. Now they could pay attention to making the plague go away too. Soon the plague began to die down, and the people could leave their houses again. They looked forward to being able to gather in person around their sacred well, but they knew it would take some time to plan how to do it so the plague would not come back. In the meantime, they had their magic boxes and many new skills, and they were happy to know that they were so capable and resilient. The guide was happy too, and very proud of the people.
All of this was true. And it was also true that the people were weary. They had been working so hard and feeling tremendous anxiety and grief for a very long time. Several of their number had died, and others had gone away. They were running low on resources and worried that they would no longer have enough to share with their guide. They hadn't been able to rest or hug each other or play together for more than a year. The magic boxes were better than nothing, but they didn't satisfy their need to simply be together.
And just at this time, when they were feeling so tired, their guide called them together on the magic boxes and said she could not stay with them any longer. She was being called to go help other people in other places. It was time for her to leave. The people were shocked. Some were sad. Some were angry. But very few were glad because they had never liked that guide anyway. They talked among themselves about their feelings and wondered what to do next. Then some of them gathered their courage and asked the guide what she thought they should do next. And she spoke to them thus.
For the last year and a half, we have been on an epic journey together. And as is true after any epic journey, people need to rest and people need to play together. What happens in your personal life if you don't rest? What happens in your personal life if all you ever do is work, 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 and you never play? Do you get increasingly exhausted and cranky and unable to do your best work? Is it hard to be your best self in relationships? The same thing happens in community life. Every person and every community needs to rest and to play together. Rest and play are sacred acts. They recharge the body and soul and enable people to be their best selves. In our Puritan culture of idolizing productivity, they're terribly undervalued, but they are absolutely necessary for healthy human life. So please, I beseech you, take it easy on yourselves in the next few months. Rest and play. You have accomplished amazing things in the past 2 years, and I know you have a bright future ahead of you. And the first steps you need to take are to rest and to play. May it be so.
Amen.
After the guide had spoken, the people pondered what she said. They knew that in coming months, there would be much still to do. They knew the tribe needed to get back on its feet after so much anxiety and loss. They knew that the monsters of anger and fear always try to come back, and the people needed to be ready to continue to soothe them with the waters of life. Could they be ready without rest? Could they recharge without play?
Realized they could not. No one can go on forever without sleeping or sitting down, or without just looking at birds and trees and running water, without sitting quietly and holding a beloved child or a beloved partner, or stroking a beloved pet, or reading a frivolous book. Everyone needs to laugh and dance and play silly games and sing silly songs. Of course, it would be the same with a whole community. So the tribe decided to take a few months to rest and to play together so they could recover their strength and balance. After that, they would be ready for whatever came next.
Then the guide made ready to depart. Using the magic boxes, she met with the people one last time. She spoke to their leaders, saying,
It is time for me to leave you. I ask that we dissolve the covenant we made when I arrived to help you.
We agree to your request. The covenant is now dissolved.
Then they thanked her for her service and gave her a parting gift.
Thank you for your time with us and your help in guiding our way. Our journey together was not the one we expected, but we have learned much. Now we will take time to rest and to play together and to decide the direction our next journey will take. We thank you for your wisdom, your kindness, your knowledge, and your love in guiding us this far. May you be well and happy.
We would like to give you these gifts. This is Lenore's book, My Leash on Life. You'll get a signed copy from Lenore. And this is a book, Life Prayers, an eloquent anthology honoring the wonders and challenges of life on earth and celebrating the seasons of our lives. It includes poetry of Hildegard of Bingen, Gary Snyder, the political wisdom of Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, a treasury of women's prayers, classical verse from China and Japan, and beautiful chants and prayers by Native Americans, a joyous affirmation of the human journey in all its forms, in all its struggles and glories.
Thank you.
And I went to Global Heart and found some little treasures. This is a necklace that said Lisa on it.
Oh, thank you.
And then scarf.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you.
Well, that is gorgeous.
And a little heart to represent our feelings for you.
Oh,
I can get it open. Oh, they really wrapped it good.
oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Then the guide picked up her staff and the magic bag she had come with. And the last they saw of her, she was walking up a hill into the sunset.
The people looked around at each other on their magic boxes. What would come next? Would they ever find another guide? Who would help them now? And lo, a mysterious being appeared on the magic boxes, and she spoke to them thus.
Greetings, Napa Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Annie Scott, and I serve as your congregation's primary contact on behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Congregational Life staff of the Pacific Western region. Phew. I've been working with your minister and board over the last year or so. I am sad that Reverend Leisa is moving on. She has given strong leadership and much love to your congregation, and I know it is the right thing for her to do. I hope you are honoring and appreciating the ministry you have shared together. And I want you to know that the UUA and the Pacific Western Regional staff are here to support you through this transitional time. Blessings to each of you and your congregation.
When the being called Annie had vanished, the people looked around at each other again. Now they felt a little more hopeful, and then a song came into their hearts, a song that made them feel joyful. And lo, the song came onto the magic boxes, and even though they couldn't hear each other, it heartened them to know they could still sing it together.
dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the word, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind, let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
And that is the end of the story. Or is it just the beginning?
Love is the spirit of this church and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Let us take a moment now to engage in the spiritual practice of generosity. Once a month, this congregation gives our whole offering to a local organization whose mission aligns with our values. This month's offering will go to the Rainbow Action Network. The Rainbow Action Network is a group of LGBTQ people and allies that aims to make the Napa Valley a welcoming and supportive place for LGBTQ people, families, community members, and visitors by advocating for change at the community and organization level. Rainbow Action Network provides diverse families opportunities for social connection, as well as opportunities to engage in family-focused social justice activism. RAN aims to increase the following in Napa County: visibility of other LGBTQ community members, support and the feeling of being supported by community, safety at schools while assessing services, and accessing services, and from discrimination and hate crimes. Connection with other LGBTQ families and individuals, with other diverse families, and with allies in the community. Highlights of what RAN has accomplished so far include 7 rainbow flags flown at all city halls and county offices locations throughout Napa County, 4 new ordinances to make flying the rainbow flag every year in June a reality. Napa Valley Unified School District, St. Helena Unified School District, and Napa County Office of Education all have flag policies to fly rainbow flags for Pride Month. Napa County Library added LGBTQ and gender inclusive books to their children's book selection, including 56 in English and 29 in Spanish. And the Napa County Assessor Office changed the birth certificate form to be inclusive. Rainbow Action Network appreciates the love and support from NVUU, as well as any funds generated today. Thank you. To give to the Rainbow Action Network, just go to our website at nvuu.org and click on the donate button. Or you can send us a check at NVUU 1625 Salvador Avenue, Napa, California, 94558. Please write "Share the Plate" in the memo line, or if you go to the website, there's a space for you to make a comment about your donation. Be sure to write "Share the Plate." Your offering will now be gratefully received.
Thank you for your many gifts. All you give and all you do help us build the beloved community here in Napa and the wider region beyond. Now it's time to thank a whole bunch of people who have served the congregation in this past year. There are so many thanks to give that it's going to take some time, so please bear with us. Thank you, Brian, for your lovely music, your excellent video editing, and also for helping so many people with their computer needs. Thank you, Trisha Lewis, for sharing your wonderful singing and leading so many hymns for us. Thank you to the great and powerful May Vader for doing such an amazing job as our administrative assistant. May, you have helped us all in so many ways, it makes my head spin. Thank you to the members of this year's Board of Trustees. Joe Byler, who was board president at the beginning of the year. Very special thanks to Kate Brady, who took over the job of president when Joe resigned. Thank you to Linda Dedeker-Yolo, who became vice president. To Maggie Ingalls, who has served the congregation as treasurer this year. To Ann Youngerman, our secretary, very diligent. And to Dale Craig, Janella O'Tell, and Margot McCandless, trustees at large. It has been a tough year and a half to be a board member but this board can do hard things. Thank you to our worship team, each of whom served as celebrant a couple of different times in our services. Jim Petka and Annette Boucher, Janella Otel, Thompson Hamilton, Tricia Lewis, Maggie Ingalls, Kate Moon, Lenore Hirsch, and occasional guest celebrant Ann Youngerman. You've had to learn so many new things in order to get us through this year of worship online, and you did such a great job with it all. I can't thank you enough. Thank you also to all who participated in last year's Gathering of the Waters video service and also the Christmas pageant. It was a lot of work, especially for the families, and we recognize and deeply appreciate all you put into these two special services. Stars of the Gathering of the Waters video included Poppy and Finn Moon, the Fisher family, including Ellen, Alan, Brad, Ginger, Atticus, and Paxton, Tricia Lewis and her daughter Iggy, Linda Diedeker Yolo and her granddaughter Layla, Lenore Hirsch, David Lindsay and Maggie Ingalls, Jim Petka and Annette Boucher, Gail Keene and Greg Holworth, Dale and Iris Craig, and Guy Kay. Stars of the Christmas pageant video included Tricia Lewis and Iggy, Linda Diedeker Yolo and Layla, the Moon family with Kate, Ryan, Poppy, and Finn, the Randall family with Kai and Violet appearing and Han filming, David Lindsay, Lenore Hirsch, the Bynum family with Shauna, Gabriel, Trajan, Hadrian, and Percy, Omri and McCormick Hamilton with Thompson filming, Alan and Alan Fisher and the rest of the Fisher family, Brad and Ginger and Atticus and Paxton. Ginger drove all around town, dropping costumes off and picking them back up. Thank you, Ginger. Tricia Lewis did an amazing job putting together the video footage for each story and narrating most of the Gathering of the Waters. Thank you, Tricia. And more thanks go out to Ginger Fisher for her untiring ministry to our families and children. She has come up with an astonishing variety of ways to keep kids and parents engaged with the congregation. I think my favorite was the stuffy sleepover. Thank you to Brad Fisher for teaching our kids and for being so understanding when we had to temporarily lay you off. Thank you also for teaching OWL to our very youngest folks. Thank you to Atticus Fisher, who helped out in the virtual classroom. And a preemptive thank you to Norma Neal, who has agreed to help teach OWL in the fall. Thank you to the Children's RE Committee for working so well and supportively with Ginger to minister to our children and families. Tricia Lewis is the chair, and other members include Kate Moon, Shauna Bynum, and Linda Diedeker Yolo, who serves as board liaison. Thank you to any volunteers in the virtual classroom whom I haven't named. It wasn't intentional, it's just that Ginger's on break right now, and I may not have everyone's names. Thank you to the members of the pastoral care team, Lee Hamilton, Susan Oken, Margaret Kelso, and Dale and Iris Craig. They too have worked unceasingly on your behalf, calling to check in with every congregant at least once. A preemptive thank you to Michael Macias, who began serving on the team this month. Thank you to Lenore Hirsch for taking on the membership committee and welcoming our newest members. Lenore also invented the caravans that visited homebound or sick members. Participants in the caravans were Lenore herself, Dale and Iris Craig, Joe Byler, Susan Oken, Perry Murray, Vicki Wolf, and Ann Youngerman. The membership committee also joined the pastoral care committee in making calls. Members of the membership committee include Dale and Iris Craig, Mary Lou Kennelly, Emily Schmidt, and David Lindsay. Barbara Kummer was also an active member and made many calls before she became so ill. Thank you to Iris Craig for taking on adult religious education and arranging such wonderful programming for each Sunday. And thank you to presenters Lee Hamilton, Omri Hamilton, Thompson Hamilton, Kaylin Matthews, Dale and Iris Craig, and Jim Petka and Annette Boucher. Thank you to David Lindsay for most of the social justice programming on several Sundays and for co-leading the social justice book club with Maggie Ingalls. Thank you to Linda Diedeker-Yolo for leading our soul circles. Thank you to Wernier Wilcox and Lee Hamilton for facilitating the men's groups. Thank you to Gail Keene for leading the book group. Again, I'm sure there were also others whose names I have not received. Please consider yourself thanked and greatly appreciated. Thank you to the Social Justice Committee, co-chairs Linda Diedeker-Yolo and David Lindsay, with members Maggie Ingalls, Kate Moon, and Susan Oken. Maggie also led the Maggie and Dave also co-led the Social Justice Book Club. Kate Moon and Maggie have been instrumental in building the Napa presence of the community organizing group Common Ground. Maggie and David have also been essential to the work. I'm running out of breath here. So many thanks to give. They've also been essential to the work of Common Ground in Solano County. Susan Oken has been on the mental health team of Common Ground. Common Ground is making a huge difference in both Napa and Solano counties, and we're so grateful for the work you're putting in. Thank you to the Stewardship Committee. Dave Lindsay was the chair, with Susan Oken and Maggie Ingalls also helping. Thank you to fundraising organizers Lenore Hirsch and Nancy LaFortune. My mouth is getting tired. Thank you to the Finance Committee. Maggie Ingalls is chair, with members Guy Kay, Tricia Lewis, Susan Oken, David Lindsay, and Linda Diedeker-Yolo. Thank you to the people who have been making sure the property and grounds are well cared for in our absence. May Vader, along with Greg Holworth, have been our point people for indoors, while David Lindsay has overseen the repaving of the old parking lot, the development of both the fencing and the new parking lot. Maggie Ingalls and Iris Craig have been busy designing the new garden next to the patio. Thank you all who have participated in organizing and hauling Barbara Cummer's treasures. Ann Youngerman, Joe Byler, Linda Diedeker-Yolo, Lenore Hirsch, Mary Lou Kennelly, and Margot McCandless. Last but definitely not least, thank you to Ann Youngerman for continuing to lead the deaf positive events. This is a very important ministry of our congregation, and we are so grateful for all of your loving work. Whew, that was a lot of people to thanks and a lot of thanks to give. And again, if I missed anyone, it was not intentional. We asked for a list from each committee chair, and these were the names we received. If your name was not on the list, we apologize and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Maggie, take it away.
I'm still muted? No.
No.
Okay, I'm okay. Now, if you are new to NVUU, you may want to go to our website. Once again, it's nvuu.org, and sign up to receive our newsletters and notifications of upcoming events and services. And whether you are a newcomer or a seasoned old timer, know that after the service, you are invited to join us for our social hour at the same Zoom link. We like to take about 10 minutes between the service and the social hour to stretch, take a bio break, grab a beverage and a snack. Then we come back. Today, we will be celebrating the time we have had with Reverend Leisa, as well as saying our final goodbyes. She will be away for the rest of the month. Now, let's sing our closing song.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet, sorry.
In closing, I offer you a few more words from my dear friend and colleague, Reverend Theresa Ines Soto. We hold hope close. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but that cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that does not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on the certainty beneath, the foundation of our values and ethics. We are the people who return to love like a North Star and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an indistinct future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream, and by covenant and the movement forward of one right action and the next, we know that one day we will arrive at home. Now, let's sing our closing song, The Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
We extinguish, that's where we are, right? We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts out into the world until we meet again. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, hard to give a benediction silently. People of this beloved community, go forth from this time knowing that each of you is the beloved child of this beautiful starry universe, and all of you are stronger together. Go knowing you will always have a special place in my heart. Go shining.
Amen.
Amen and blessed be.